Hey everybody, Steven here, and today we're looking at the announcement from ONEXFLY in regards to the price of the ONEXFLY. Now this is a limited time deal, and I have not seen this from another handheld company in terms of how they've structured this. So I only found out about this through the Discord that they have. This isn't currently listed on the IndieGoGo campaign, but $739 if you purchase this little package for $9.90. Now they only have 2,000. I thought it was 2,000, but this is saying 2001 here, but 2001 of these available. And with this, they're really just securing the price. And I think because part of me is like, well, that's just weird to do it that way. But because a company like this focuses on the hardware instead of the software like Steam does, they need to secure that enough of these are bought in order to justify production and the cost of that, right? So that's why they're doing this. Now, for the $9.90 here, you get the protective case, you get a screen protector, and then the ONEXFLY, it says protective case here. We got a lot of typos here, but this is a Chinese company, so I think it has more to do with that. But with this, that should just be a micro SD card, 128 gigs here. That's on the smaller side. Now you can use that depending on the size that you get, because I believe this is most likely going to be for the 512 gig model. Yep. So you can see there, you get the 16 gigs of RAM and then 512 gigs of storage with this. So an extra 128 gigs, again, on the smaller side, but my issue with this would probably be, we see outside of the screen protector and the SD card, the micro SD card, I think it should come with a protective case. I don't think they should be charging the extra 30 bucks. I didn't like the fact that the ROG Ally didn't come with a case. And that one, I think theirs is like 40 or 50 bucks if you buy like the official one. So we look at the Steam Deck, it's the cheapest out of all of these, and that one came with a protective case, but they make money on the software side. So they're just trying to get one of these in your hands so that they can make money on the software side. The rest of these companies are relying on the hardware. So it does make sense to me. It's just harder when you have another company that, again, it's a standard thing that you're getting, but you do have to kind of just sit down and say, okay, again, one company is making money off the software. They're going to give you all the extras if they can, just so you get that item. And then you're going to spend more money on Steam once you get the Steam Deck, where these, they really have to make it just on the hardware side. So you have to purchase this through the website. Again, you can't find this on the IndieGoGo campaign. They only have 1,257 left as of right now. I watched the ETA Prime video on this, so I did like a lot of what I saw in his video there. The thing that I thought was interesting was on the side here where you have the writing that you can get. I thought it was saying you could customize that all the time. No, you pick that before it ships out, and that's what it'll show up with. That can diminish the resale value if you're gonna do one that has like your name on it or something like that. So you might want to pick something if you are thinking, hey, I may want to sell this and run that money into the next handheld that I want to get in the next year or so. That is something to be mindful of. But I like what he had to say about the speakers, the controllers, and then we have the 120 hertz screen here. That's really the big draw for me with that 7840U processor here. So we're looking at the new Ryzen or Zen 4 processors in this with the AGPUs here. So you get the 780 in this. So performance wise, I am curious to see more. ETA did showcase some, and it seemed pretty decent, but it wasn't powerful enough to really hit close to 120 hertz with AAA titles. It's not something that I was necessarily expecting. Same with the ROG Ally, but performance wise, it seemed pretty similar to the ROG Ally. I'd like to see those two things running side by side, and just how powerful is this 7840U compared to the one in the ROG Ally, because theirs is a custom chip. So this is the ONEXFLY here. ETA just posted another video though, And this is where I'm going to say, hey, we're looking at this. I suspect this is going to be $799 once we run through this. That'll be the real early bird price for everybody that doesn't get on this sale. And that's, I mean, when you're looking at a ROG Ally, I mean, that brings it close to that price. So this is I think it is a pretty decent price here, but it's for the first 2000, right? But we have the AYANEO AIR 1S. This I didn't even know about. And so this is currently still in the IndieGoGo campaign phase, with them launching this next month. I still have no idea when the ONEXFLY is actually going to ship, but the first group for AYANEO is going to ship in August. So if you buy it now, it may be more like September or October before you get yours, potentially. Early bird price right here. So actually you would get this because there's only 46 out of 200 claimed. It says $799 down here. It says $802. I'm assuming that has something to do with tax or something. But with this one, what makes it interesting, so you still get the 7840U AGPU here, but this is a 5.5 inch screen instead of the 7. No mention of refresh rate, so I'm assuming it's just 60 hertz here. But this thing is incredibly small and light. So just looking at the thickness, and they have two different variations here, which I think is interesting because you get the extremely light version, which is limited edition here, but the regular one is going to be 21.6 millimeters thick and then 450 grams. That's very thin. And then the other one is going to be 18 millimeters thick and 405 grams. Like we're getting into the like Nintendo Switch realm with these now. It is a 1080p screen. I will make sure that both ETA Prime videos are linked because he just showcased this one. It's small. It looks small in the hand, especially when we're going from something like the ONEXFLY 2 that's the 8.4 inch screen, and that thing is massive in your hands. This is an interesting handheld here because it's also an OLED screen. So that's another big thing here is we're not dealing with an IPS panel. Do they even showcase that with this? Surprised they're really just talking about there it is, then OLED screen. Just talking about mainly the size of it, but it does have that OLED screen. So you're gonna get incredible colors and vibrancy, but the nits are gonna be an issue in terms of whites with this, which I don't know that they are listed on this, but typically you're looking like 200-ish nits with a lot of the OLED screens. But early bird price here, $799, and then IndieGoGo retail price will be $849, and then the official retail price for the same 16 gig 512G for the gigabytes for the hard drive. So official retail is going to be $900. Now we're looking at $200 more than a ROG Ally, right? So 200, 150, $200. So this is where it's starting to shift things a little bit. But if you get that early bird price, and I've talked about this in another video, that's really how you have to get these handhelds. If you want some of these newer ones, is you got to get it on the early bird with the Kickstarter or the IndieGoGo campaign to secure a price that is going to be more comparable to the Steam Deck, to a ROG Ally here. But that's also what makes the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally such a great deal, is the price point with the performance that they're getting. But we're seeing that these are getting these new AMD Ryzen chips, so it's only a matter of time before, in terms of performance, these are really blowing the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally out of the water. Maybe not so much the ROG Ally, because that one does have solid performance, but we are seeing that the Steam Deck is starting to get left behind here with this. So we have obviously other versions here. So not only the Aurora White, the Polar Black, Retro Power, Retro Limited, and then the different sizing options that you could go with here. But again, for the 16 gigs RAM, the 512 gigs for the SSD, you can get this for $799. So that is another thing to potentially think about, is you have another option here. Again, this didn't even hit my radar until the ETA Prime video, so way smaller. And there was one specific image, I kept rolling past it actually. I actually didn't get to it right here. So now it's showing you Steam Deck here, then the ROG Ally, then we're getting the Nintendo Switch right here, and then you have the AYANEO Air 1S. Look how small. It's smaller than the Switch in your hands. The Nintendo Switch weighs 420 grams, right? So that limited edition one, if you get it, is going to be smaller and lighter than a Nintendo Switch. So here's another option for you if you didn't know about this. Again, watch ETA's videos on the ONEXFLY and this. Let me know what you guys think about this price point. Do you think $739 for this first 2,000 backers, and then again most likely $799 for the IndieGoGo campaign? Basically, the reason I'm bringing this up, I think it's going to follow the same structure. It's going to initially be $799, and then you're going to have, after that, it's going to go to $849, just like the AYANEO, and then the official retail price is probably going to be $899 for the ONEXFLY. What do you think about that pricing? What do you think about them trying to get these backers with this little extra thing that you have to buy here? Again, I think it's to secure numbers so they can justify production. What do you think about that? What do you think about the price? What do you think about the AYANEO Air S here also? All within the context of the fact that we do have the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally out there right now, and those do have solid performance still. So that's going to be it for this one, everybody. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. Check out those other videos from ETA Prime. But if you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.